I just got back from the most exclusive car audio show in the country. You have to be an industry professional to attend. They gave me a press pass, and I'm going to give you an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the Cars of Knowledge Fest Nashville edition. We're going to start off with this Ground Zero Ford Maverick. They gave me a demo, and it was loud AF. This thing had a full 3-way front stage plus a pair of 10s, all powered off a single 5-channel amplifier. I love the pods on the A-pillar, but that's not the coolest part of the build. The coolest part is this right here, these 10-inch subwoofers underneath the back seat in the factory storage area. That looks like a sealed box. It's not, it's ported, and the ports vent out right through these grills right here. All of the gear in this vehicle was from a company called HKI. They are a distributor for Sound Digital and Ground Zero. They brought several cars like this awesome Honda with a pair of 10s and a plexiglass band passing. They were still tuning the car, so I didn't get a demo or a walk around. This company HKI also partnered with a shop that was local to the show, Titan Motoring in Nashville, Tennessee. We're here with Terry. Terry works for Titan Motoring. He's been helping out with this build. Tell us how long it took you to do the install on this badass truck.
Oh, well, it's a lot of hours, but those hours were roughly in the last 2 weeks by about 4 guys, 24/7 around the clock. Pretty much every hour of every day available, with family or without, doesn't matter. You're with this truck, getting her done. These are the sponsors for this vehicle. They gave us the opportunity to build a really badass truck for KFest and for Nashville to enjoy up and down Broadway this weekend. HKI hooked us up with the equipment, a lot of pro audio equipment here to make this truck pretty loud and shut this Music City Center down. We really appreciate them for supporting us and letting us do what we do best. We have the Linkswell head unit in. It's their 14-inch vertical, all Ground Zero Sound Digital equipment. Up front, we have a Ground Zero Pro tweeters. We have a 10, 6.5, and tweet, all their competition line in the front and rear doors. We also have 4 15 nuclear subs in the back, about 25 cubic feet in a blow-through, 6 Sound Digital amplifiers with a massive electrical upgrade in this vehicle. We are doing 4 1200x4s running the doors, 800x4 running the stunt wall, and a 12K wired at 1 ohm running our subs. And they're only on about half RMS. This truck comes factory with 2 batteries, 2 alternators, as a primary and a secondary from the factory. So the secondary we left alone. Primary we did an upgrade to a 370 Mechman. We did 2 runs 0 front to rear. We have 2 more marine batteries in the bed. So everything front to rear is 2 runs of power, 2 runs of aught, frame grounded everything. And then we have an SMD distro in the back to get all of our power to our amplifiers.
It's not really accurate to call KnowledgeFest a car audio show. It's actually a training event for car audio shops with sessions for installers, sales staff, and shop owners. There were tons of classes from industry experts and from various brands, manufacturers, and distributors. There was a class on advanced tools like lasers and 3D printers and a class on how to tune a DSP. I even sat in on a leadership class for shop owners that focused on how to onboard, train, and motivate new employees. But you want to see the cars, and there were a ton of them. Check out this awesome C8 Corvette.
Hi, I'm Jason McCarty. I'm an account manager with Dow Technologies covering Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. We have one of our customers' cars here from Sound Decisions in Johnson City, Tennessee. So what it has is the 3-way component setup, a 6.3 and a tweeter, and it also does the S-Series coax 5.25 in the back, and we have an R-Series flat 10, new on the market. And then we integrated the factory OEM head unit into the DSP processor and then put it into the 2 6-channel amplifiers. It's one of what we think to be 2 cars that are fully integrated with the factory head unit and not just Bluetoothed in. The guys over there at Sound Decisions are really good at what they do, and they decided to take about 3/4 of a cubic foot of total leg space out of the passenger footwell. And so they built a sealed box for it, and this sub really gets down with 600 watt. The cool thing about these Corvettes is that there's a frunk and a trunk. So what they did is we took the frunk, pulled it out, resined it up, painted it up, built a steel bracket. Both the amps are in a V with the processor on the top, and if you can dig down in there and the camera hidden, there is a chrome Stingray laying down in the bottom of the amp rack, but you have to dig to get it. It's cool. The factory Corvette comes with a 10-inch, and when I did a tour of the factory picking up my own Corvette, they showed me the door panel is actually part of the front side of a bandpass enclosure, and the door is the back side of the enclosure. And it's a 10-inch woofer. I can show you when in a minute we'll open the door, but the door panel has a trim that vents midway, and at the bottom, that's how all that bass would come out. So what they did is they just cut the bottom portion of the door out, put a grill over the top that looks factory, and put the Alpine 6.5 down low.
The cars in the Sony booth really stood out. Check out the paint job on this VW that was loaded with Sony's mobile ES gear. When people think of Sony, they think of the red Explode subs from back in the day, but their mobile ES line is sound quality that's top notch, definitely worth checking out. I'll give you some links to some Sony mobile ES gear down in the video description. I love the big touchscreen in this Toyota. This wasn't the only car with a big touchscreen. Check this one out.
My name's Don Lester. I work with Sounds Good Stereo, based just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. And behind us, we have a demonstration vehicle that we built. It's actually my personal car, but we built it to take it around shows to showcase kind of what's possible in the car stereo world. The electricity starts under the hood. So it's a Brand X alternator. I believe it's a 250 amp alternator. And then of course, zero gauge, power, ground, copper, OFC, running all the way to the back. And that feeds two excess power Titan lithium 8 batteries. We have two batteries in the back. That's also connected to a power supply that's embedded into the vehicle. So we can actually just plug it in with an extension cord, because of course we can't run the car at these shows and stuff like that. From there, a lot of amplifiers. We have a total of 8 amplifiers in the vehicle, and they're from a company called Moscone Gladen. And this is their Pro class, which is the top end of the amplification from that company. We're not utilizing any Class D in this particular vehicle. Front speaker stage is a 3-way component kit with an extra 6.5 inch mid bass. And these speakers are all the Moscone Gladen Pro Series speakers. In total, we have about 3,700 watts RMS just on the front stage alone. So tons and tons and tons of power. And so it's a 4-channel Class A. They call it the Moscone Pro 430. So Class A on the mid-ranges and tweeters, a Class AB 2-channel for this door, a 2-channel for the passenger door, and another 2-channel for the front subwoofer. Yeah, so there's 12 subs in the back and another one in the dash. But the one in the dash is not playing sub frequencies. We don't need that in this particular vehicle. So we put it in a really small enclosure to raise what we call the FS, the tuning frequency. So it's actually playing from about 65 to 120. And that's to reinforce the front mid bass. You can never have too much mid bass, right? So tons of power in the front, fully active, which means we have DSP channel for every single speaker, front, rear, sub, in this whole system. So we can fully tune the left tweeter differently than the right tweeter, the left mid door speakers from the right door speakers, and we can make them sound exactly like we want to bring in a cohesive sound. So when you fire it up, you're not hearing speakers, you're hearing music. And in the rear, we have 12 8-inch subs powered by 3 more 2-channel amplifiers. So again, Class AB on subs, so about 2,000 watts on the rear sub setup. We also have mid-ranges and tweeters in the back of the vehicle also, running on another 4-channel amp. So again, tons of amplification, tons of speakers, but tons of control via the DSP. So this is my friend Barney, right? So with the Moscone DSP, it's 8 channels in, 12 channels out. When you're tuning it, you know, we're gonna try to use our ears, but our ears can be very deceptive. So it's a little bit easier to do equalization and time delay crossovers with your ears, but when you start talking about phase, that's something you could spend months and months and months on trying to get it right. So we have Barney here, which is a binaural microphone, mannequin head, and he's actually got microphones in each ear. We actually set this in the vehicle, and the Moscone DSP connects to it with their calibration file, and we're actually able to run several types of sweeps. And this guy right here will use AI and actually correct all the phase between each individual speaker. And with this many speakers, you could spend 6 months trying to get all this in phase, but this guy can do it in 15 minutes. Pretty incredible.
That is just a small taste of what happens behind the scenes at KnowledgeFest. If you want to see more, click right here. As always, before I leave, I need to say thank you to all of my patrons, with a bonus shout out to $25 and up patrons: Johnny, Timothy, Paul, Jonathan, David, JD America, and Bo. I'm Justin. This is the DIY Audio Guy YouTube channel, and I will see you on the next adventure.